Greetings everyone, you are welcome to this video tutorial. In this video tutorial, we will talk about data file handling in C++ and especially text files. I have already covered the data files and their types in my earlier video. So here I am going to discuss only text files. Now what are text files? Text files store the information in ASCII characters. Each line of text in text files is terminated by a special character called EOL, that is end of line character. And in text files, some internal translations do take place while storing data. Now let us discuss some functions to read and write into the text file. Now first we will discuss the functions to read from a text file. Now to read a single character from a text file, we use a function get. This function reads a single character from a text file and stores it in a buffer. So if our file name is suppose file, so I can use the syntax file.getch, where ch is a character. So this command will read one single character from the file and stores it in the variable ch. Now we can also read word by word from a text file. So to read one word at a time from a text file, we can use the function getLine. This function reads a word of given length from the text file and stores it in a buffer. And it should be noted that words are always separated by a single space. We can to read a word, we can declare a string of size 20. Suppose if 20 is the maximum length of the word stored in my file, or it can be 30, 40 depending upon the size of word, maximum size of word in my file. Then suppose file is the name of the file from which I want to read a character. So I will use the command file.getLine ch, 20, space. So this command will read either 20 characters or till the space is encountered. Whatever is encountered first, either the 20 characters are read or space is encountered first, it will stop there and it will store these characters in the variable ch. Then I can also use the extraction operator to read from a file. This can be used like this: file extraction operator ch, where ch again is a string of size 20. And as extraction operator does not accept white spaces, it will stop when it encounters a space after word and stores that word in ch. So that word will be stored in ch. Now to read one line from a file at a time, I can again use the function getLine. This function reads a line from text from text file and stores it in a buffer. And I can use the command like this: file, which is the name of the file from which we are reading, file.getLine s,80,/n. So in this case, it will read either at 80 characters or it will read till /n. Whichever is encountered first, it will stop there and it will store it in s, which is the variable of size 80 only. Then to read, we have already discussed the functions to read from text file. Now to write a single character into the text file, I can use a function put. This function is used to write a single character in text file, and I can use the command like this: file.put ch. So if ch has some value stored in it earlier, suppose, and file is the name of the file in which I want to write, I can give this command file.put ch. So this command will read one single character into the file. Now to write a line in a text file, I can use the insertion operator. So it is used to write a line to a file, and I can use like this: if s is already a string of 80 characters, suppose. So it will store this many number of characters, which are the characters which are stored in s, into the file which is defined by the name fin. So these are the functions for reading and writing from or into the text file. So let us see further. Now let us see how to check the end of the file. As we are reading from a text file, it is very important to check up till what character or up till what limit we have to read from a text file. So there are various ways of checking end of file condition. Some of these are discussed here. Using EOF function. EOF is end of file function and it returns non-zero. Non-zero is always true when there are no more data to be read from an input file stream, and it returns 0, which means false otherwise. So if I give the command fin.getch, I am reading suppose one single character from a file, and I will read till what? While not fin.eof, while EOF of the file is not reached, because as soon as EOF is reached, it will become true. So while it is not reached, I will see out. I am just displaying the character which I am reading from the file here. I will display that character on the screen, and then I again reading the next character. So this loop will execute till the end of file is not reached, and when the end of file is reached, the loop will stop and we will come perform the next statement. Now using ifstream object, an ifstream object returns a value 0 if any error occurs in the file, including end of file condition. So this loop terminates when the object will return 0 value on reaching the end of the file. So when the object reaches the end of the file, it will return 0, and the loop will terminate in this case. And the loop may terminate due to other failures. And please remember that in this case, the loop can also terminate when there are other failure operations in the file. So let us see how I can use it. Fin.getch, I am reading one single character from the file fin, which is opened in the ifstream mode, and then while fin, it means while the object fin is not failed, while it is reading from a file, when the end of file is not reached, it will see out. I'm see outing what I'm displaying whatever I am reading from the file, and then in this line I'm reading the next character from the file. So this loop will terminate only when it will reach the end of file condition, and then the loop will terminate. Now using read statement, in this again the while loop will terminate when the read statement fails, that is when end of file is reached, and in this case the loop terminates. So I will use like this, while fin.getch. See, I am using the read statement inside the while, so this loop will continue as long as it is reading from the file and end of file is not reached, and when the end of file is reached, this loop will terminate. So here I am displaying whatever I am reading from the file. I can perform any operation of my choice. Now let us write a program to create a text file. Now to create a text file, I am writing a program. I am including the file ifstream.h. This I have already discussed in my earlier video, why to use ifstream.h, and then I am writing void main. Now I am creating a file. So I will create an object of offstream class. Offstream is my class, and I am creating fout. It is a user defined name. You can give any name. Here I have given fout. This is an object of offstream class, and this is the name of the text file. By this name, your file is going to exist on the hard disk. So in this line, we are associating fout with abc.txt. Now, we have created a file and my file is ready to write. Now I will write using the insertion operator. So see, whatever I am writing within quotes, that will be written to the file fout. So there are two lines which I am writing. I am creating a new text file, and then I am writing another file, another statement. I am writing alphabets and numbers in it, and these two lines are separated by /n. And then I am closing the file using the command fout.close. So you can see here internally it happens like this. This is my disk file and this is my C++ program. Whatever I am trying to write through the C++ program, it is inserted into the output stream. Output stream takes care of all the output operations. So whatever it has taken from the C++ program, it writes all the data to the disk file. So in this way, my disk file is stored on the hard disk. Whatever I am storing through C++ program, that will be stored in my disk file. And here abc.txt is my disk file. Now let us see again. This is my program. Let us see. Now my file is created, and when you run this program, no output will be produced here because I am not displaying anything on the screen. Whatever I am writing, that is written to a file. So no output will be produced, and abc.txt is a file which is created on the hard disk. Now if I want to view my file, I can view my file by going to a DOS shell. So you can go to the DOS shell by using this. You go to the file menu and there is a DOS shell operation or DOS shell option. So you just click this. So this is the DOS shell, In this you can give a command. If you give the command dir and the name of your file, please remember to give the full name including the extension. So it will display your file along with the size of the file, date of creation, time of creation, etc. It will give all the details. And then you can display the contents of your text file by giving the command type, type, and the file name. See, give the complete file name along with the extension. See, I have given txt also. See, whatever I wrote here in the file, you can see here it has been written here. So these are the contents of my file abc.txt. So I can display the text file on the screen by using this command, and then I can type exit to leave the DOS shell and go back to my C++ editor. Now suppose I've already created my file. I want to read my file. So I've already told you that there are three ways of reading a file. You can read a text file character by character, word by word, or line by line. So this is a program in which I am reading my text file character by character. So again I will include fstream.h because I am doing file handling. I need to include fstream.h. Then I will include choreo.h because I am using the clear screen function. In void main, I will first clear the screen because after that I will display the content of my file. As I am reading from a file, I will create an object of ifstream class. So ifstream is a class and fin is an object of ifstream class, and this is again user defined. You can give any name. Here I have given fin. And now this is the name of the text file which I have already created. In the earlier program, you can see here we created the file abc.txt. Now I am using the same file to read from this file. So this file name should be correct. Now as I am reading a character by character, I am declaring a single character ch. Then I am giving the command fin.get.ch. This command will read one single character from a file. And then I am checking the end of file condition. We have already discussed three ways in which I can check the end of file condition. You can use any one. Here I have used this condition while not fin.uf. So unless or until the end of file is reached, what I am doing, I am simply displaying in getting the character from the file, displaying it, and again I am reading the character from a file. So this loop will continue as long as end of file is not reached. So when the end of file is reached, I will close my file. So if you see, if this is the abc.txt, suppose this file I have already created. So it will read one single character. When we first run the loop char ch, fin.get.ch will read one single character I, and it will display it on the screen I. This is the output which is produced when you run this program. Then it will read the space. See, you can see it will display the space. Then it will read the second character A. It will display it like this. It will keep on reading one single character and display it on the output screen. This is how it works. And internally you can see here, this is my disk file. This is the input stream which works between the file and my C++ program. It reads the data from the file, and from this input stream my C++ program extracts the data, and then I perform the operation, any operation on that data. In this program I am simply displaying it on the screen. Now let us take few code snippets to further explore how we can read character by character, and in what cases I can use character by character reading. So suppose my problem statement is that I have to count alphabets, digits, and special characters in a file. So in this case you can see I have to count alphabets, digits, and special characters. So these are single characters. So I must read my file character by character, and this is only a code snippet. Rest of the part I have left. You can see it from the previous program. It will remain the same. So I will read the file one character at a time. I am giving the statement fin.get.ch. Then I will use the loop while not fin.uf. Now I will check the character which I have read is alphabet, digit, or special character. So I am using the functions already there, character functions. If is digit ch. If ch is digit type, I will increment the counter ctr1. This I have already declared. So I am assuming that you are understanding this, that I have declared three variables ctr1, ctr2, and ctr3, and I have initialized all three of them by value 0 before the loop. And these are the two functions, is digit and is alpha, and I am using the header file ctype.h to include these functions. Now if it is not is digit, I will check if it is alpha or not. Is alpha will check whether my character which I have read is alphabet or not. If it is, it will increment the CTR2 variable by 1, and otherwise if it is not digit, not alphabet, I will incrementing another control variable CTR3 by 1, and then I will read the next character. So this loop will continue unless or until the end of file is reached, and for each character which I have read, I will check whether it is digit, alphabet or any other character. So this is how you can do it. Suppose my problem statement is I have to display the file toggling case of alphabets present in it. So I have to toggle means if it is in small alphabet, I have to display it in capital alphabets, and if the character is in capital alphabet in file, I have to display it in small alphabet on the screen. So again, this is a code snippet. I will read a single character from a file fin.getch, and then I am using a loop while not fin.uf. Now I will check whether the character which I have read is capital or small. So I'll check if ch greater than equal to a and ch less than equal to z. I will display cout ch plus 32. I hope you know that capital alphabet, the ASCII value of capital alphabet is 65 and the ASCII value of small alphabet A is 92. So the difference between the two is 32. So if I add 32 to any capital alphabet, it will become a small alphabet. So I am just adding 32 to it so that it will display it in the form of small alphabet. And if it is not capital alphabet, I will check whether it is small a to small z. If yes, I will simply subtract 32 from it, because if I subtract 32 from the small alphabet, I will get an ASCII value corresponding to capital alphabet. And if this is not the case, if it is not an alphabet, I will simply cout ch. So this is my code snippet, and then I will read the next character, and this loop will continue unless or until the end of file is reached. So you can see this logic part I have put in another color so that you can understand the logic. Rest of the part of the program will always remain the same. So please remember to remember how to write a program of reading from a text file. Only this portion, logic portion, is changed. Otherwise, the rest of the program remains the same. Now let us write a program to read a text file word by word. So in this case, you can see here I am including the file fstream.h and I am including conio.h because I am using the function clear screen. As I am reading from a file, I will create an object fin of the class ifstream, and again this is user defined. You can give any name according to your choice, and this is the name of the file from which I am going to read. Now this time, as I am reading word by word, I am declaring a string of size 20. This is the maximum length of word in my file, and you can give any size here depending upon your file. Then I am giving the read statement here, fin.getLine ch, 20, space. This will read either till 20 characters or space, whichever is encountered first. So in my case, the character, the word size is always less than 20. So it will read one word. It will read when the space is encountered, and it will store it in ch. And I am using the loop while not fin.uf. I am checking the end of file condition. And then I am displaying the word, whatever I have read in this statement, it will be displayed on the screen. And then I am using one more read statement, and this loop will continue till end of file is reached. You can see here, this is my file abc.txt which has already been created. So in this case, it will read first the letter I, because this is also a word here, and it will display it on the screen. This is the output of this program. When I will run this program, this output will be produced on the screen. Then the next word is am. So it will display this word am on the screen, and then it will read the next word, which is creating. So it will read word by word instead of reading character by character. Now it will read word by word, then it will read then it will read new, then it will read text, and then it will read file. And it will read like this and keep on simultaneously displaying it on the screen. And this loop will continue till the end of file is reached. After this point, the loop will stop. And I can, for reading a word from a file, I can also use the extraction operator, fin.ch statement. But I think it is always better to use getLine, because in some cases this statement gives problems. So it is your wish. If it gives problem, you can use this statement. So if I look at the internal operations, you can see here there is an input stream which works between the file and C++ program. Input stream reads data from the file and stores it in a buffer here, and then we can extract the data. C++ program can extract the data from this buffer in which the data has been stored by input stream. So this is how it works actually. Now let us again take few more examples where word by word reading is better. Although see, you can write your program in umpteen number of ways. There are various ways of writing writing every program. Here I am just giving you a code snippet of the easier way of doing the job. Otherwise, whatever method suits you, you can use that method. So if my problem statement is if I want to count the number of words which begin with A. So I can use both the methods. I can read word by word or I can read character by character. But here I am giving you the code snippet of reading word by word. So as I have to count the number of words beginning with A, I will read first word. I am using getLine ch, 20, space. Then I will check the condition while not fin.uf. If ch0 is equal to A. Now my word is stored in ch. And I have to count the number of words beginning with A. The first letter should be A. So I am checking whether ch0 is A or not. And if it is A, I will increment my count variable. Count is a variable which I have initialized to 0 in the beginning of the loop. Before the loop rather. So I will increment it simply. And then I will read the next word. And this loop will continue till end of file is reached. It will keep on going and adding 1 to count if the word has A at the 0 position. Now, if suppose I want to count those words which are 5 characters long. So in this case, again, I have to count the words. So it is better to read word by word. So I am reading a word ch, 20, space using getLine function. I will use the loop while not fin.uf unless or until the end of file condition is reached. If strlen is already a function which is stored in string.h, so you can include the file string.h here. So I will check whether the length of the word which I have read is 5 or not. If it is 5, it will increase the count variable by 1. And the count variable again I have stored here before the loop, and I will initialize it by value 0. And then in the loop I will use the reading statement again, and this loop will continue till the end of file is reached, and all the words which are of length 5 will be counted, and the count is stored in the variable count, which I can display after the loop. Now suppose I want to count the number of words which are palindromes. So in these cases it is always better to read the file word by word. It is easier to do it. Otherwise it is your wish. You can adopt any method of your choice. So I am reading a word again here. I am using the while loop till end of file is reached. I will continue this loop. Now I have to count the number of palindromes. I am checking whether the word which I have read is a palindrome or not. I will copy this word simply to another string ch1 which I have already declared before the loop. Suppose I have declared it here. Then I am using strref. All these functions definitions, they are present in string.h. So please remember to include string.h while writing this program. So strref will reverse the string ch1. Now this is reverse string and this is my original string. Now I will compare if strcmp equal to 0. If it is equal to 0, it means if the reversed version and the original version are same, it means it is a palindrome. So I will increment the count variable by 1. Again, the count variable has been declared here and it is initialized to value 0. So again, after this I will read the next word and the loop will continue till end of file is reached. So this logic part I have given in another color so that you can understand the logic part, what operation I am performing on the word which I am reading from a file. Rest of the program will remain the same. You can use the upper portion and the lower portion will remain the same. Only the logic part, the cout ch instead of cout ch, I am performing the required operation on the word which I am reading from a file. Now let us write a program to read a text file line by line. Now see, again I am including the file fstream.h and I am including conio.h. In the void main, I will first clear the screen, and again see, as I have to read from a file, I will create an object of ifstream class, and fin is an object, and this is a name given by me. You can give any name of your choice, and then abc.txt is the name of the text file from which I have to read the data. Now I have to read line by line, so I will create a big string of size 80. Now the statement would be fin.getLine ch comma 80 comma slash n. It will read either till 80 characters or slash n, whichever is encountered first. So in my case, the file no line is bigger than 80, so it will read till end of line, and that line will be stored in ch. Now I will check the end of file condition. If it is not end of file, it will simply display. I'm displaying the line which I have read here in this statement on the screen, and then I'm reading the next line. So this loop will continue unless or until the end of file is reached. So you can see here, if this is my text file in which I have written 2 lines. So in this case, now it will read this whole line. In the first case, I was reading 1 character at a time. In the second case, I was reading 1 word, like word by word, creating a new text file. Now I am reading line by line. So I will read this whole line. I am creating a new text file in one go, and this line will be stored in ch. And then it will be displayed. This is the output of this program. When I execute this program, this output will be displayed on the screen. So this line will be displayed, and then I will read the next line, and this line will be displayed like this. So again, the internal processing happens like this. This is the disk file, and this is the input stream which functions between the disk file and the C++ program. It reads the data from the file, stores it in a buffer here, and then C++ program extracts the data from the buffer. Now this is how it functions. Now let us again learn few examples in which we can use this line by line reading of text file. It is better to use, otherwise again I'm saying it is your wish, you can use your method. Now to count the number of lines beginning with A in a file. Suppose there are many lines in a file and I want to count only those lines which begin with A. So in this case, see, I'm reading the first line from a file, then I'm checking the end of file condition, and if ch0 is equal to A, I will increment the variable count by 1. And then I am reading another file, and this loop will continue till the end of file is reached. So I will keep on counting all the lines which begin with the alphabet A. Now suppose I want to count the number of lines which are 25 characters long. So again I will read one line at a time. I will check for end of file condition, and then I will check whether the line which I have read is of 25 characters or not. If the length is 25, I am using the strlen function which is present in string.h. I will simply increment the variable count by 1, and then I will read the next line. So this loop will continue till end of file is reached, and I will count all the lines which are of size 25. And please remember that count variable is declared in the beginning before the loop, and it is initialized to 0 also. Now to count the number of lines which are palindrome, again the same logic which I have used in the case of word, I will use here. I will read one line at a time from the file. Then this is the end of file condition. I will copy this line to another string ch1. Please assume that ch1 is again a string of size 80 which is declared before the loop. Then I will reverse this new string, and then I will compare whether my new string and old string, they are same or not. If they are same, it means the line which I have read is a palindrome. So I will simply increase count by 1, and then I will read the line again, next line from the file, and this loop will continue until end of file is reached. So you can see here this logic part which I have written in another color is going to change here, and rest of the program will remain the same. So at least remember the rest of the program. Only the logic part in each program is very small, which is going to change. The rest of the program, opening a file, attaching it to the stream, everything, reading a file will remain the same in every program. Now, suppose I want to add something new to my text file. My text file is already created and I want to add something new. This is very important, how to add new data to a file. Because to add a new data, I want to write onto a file. And for reading onto a file, if I simply open my file simply for writing offstream fout, if I don't write this word ios::app, what will happen? My file will be opened and all the contents will be truncated. My file will become empty and new file will be opened. Whatever is stored in it, that will be erased from my file. So it is very important to store open it in a way so that my previous contents will be restored and I can add new content to my file. So let us see how I can add. I will include the file fstream.h and then I am using void main here. Now let us see this statement very carefully. As I am writing onto a file, I will create an object of class offstream. Again, fout is the user defined name. Now this is the file on which I have to write. Now see, ios::app. Here I am using the append mode. We have already discussed the modes in my previous video. You can refer to that video if this is not clear to you. The append mode is used to add new data to a file. So if I add this mode, the previous content of my file will not be erased and I am able to add new content to my file. And plus, please remember this, if it is not included, ios::app is not included, all the contents will get erased from my file. So this is very important. If the file is already created, always open with mode APP, which is the append mode. Now if I say fout/n, I am adding a new line to my file. So it will add new line to this, it will add this line to my file and the previous content is also restored. And I am closing a file here. You can see the output. If I display this file and I will go to DOS shell, so I have used this, I have taken this output from the DOS shell. I have displayed it simply on the screen. You can see here, these were the two lines which were already there in the file. Then /n will put one blank line between the two lines and then this is the new line which I have just added. So you can see here, this is my file and I have added one more line to it. Please remember again, I am saying ios::app is very important. This is the append mode. Append mode always opens your file and put the cursor file pointer at the end of the file. So whatever you want to add, you can add only at the end of the file. After the last content of the file, new content is added. Now suppose I want to modify my text file. Something is written there and I want to change whatever is written there. Suppose in this program I am changing every occurrence of small m with capital M. So this is one of the example. You can choose your file of interest and you can make changes of your requirement. Whatever you require, you can make the changes accordingly. So in this program, the logic which I have used is to modify a file. I am taking two files. The first file I am opening in, I am opening with ifstream class. I am attaching it to the object of ifstream class. Because I am reading this file. This is the file which I am reading. Then I am to modify it. What I am doing, the logic is that I am writing the content of this file into a new file after making that required change. So the required change is small m with capital M. So this is what I will do. I will read each and every character of this file or word of this file. Here we have to change the word. So I will read the word and I will do the required change and then I will write it to the new file. And at the end, I will change the name of this file and make it, give it the original name, give it the name abc.txt, which was the name of my original file. And I will remove this file because this is going to be my original file now. So let us understand the program. I will first open my file from which I have to read. I will open it I will attach it with an object of ifstream class. And you can see here ifstream fin abc.txt. This is the file from which I have to read. Now I am creating a new file in which I have to write. As I have to write, I will create an object of offstream class. And suppose I'll give it a name xyz.txt. So if the new file will exist by this name on the hard disk. Now as I have to make changes according to the word, so it is better to write word by word. I will read the first word using the statement fin.getLine ch, 20, space. So this line, this statement will read one single character, one single word from a file. Then I'm again checking the end of file condition. If my end of file condition is not true, if it is not reached, I will compare the word which I have read is small am or not. So you can see strcmp. So please remember to include string.h also. If it is am, then on the file fout, on the object fout, I am writing capital M. You can see here, if this condition is true, that is the word which I have read is small am, I will write capital Am. Otherwise, I will write the word as it is onto the new file. So you can see here, if the first word is I, so I will write it as it is. It is written as it is. The next word is am, small am. So instead of small am, I will write capital Am. Then the creating is same, so it will remain the same. Will remain the same. New will remain the same. Text will remain the same. And file will remain the same. Then again, I will remain the same. Again, when you encounter the word am, you will convert it to capital Am. So this is the logic. This is the main logic. So whenever the word which you are reading is am, you will write capital Am to the file f out. And then you will read the next word. This loop will continue unless or until the end of file is reached. And when it is reached, your loop will terminate. And then I will close both the files. And then please see the syntax of the next line. Now my original file is of no use because I have made the changes in it. So I will remove this file. So I will say remove abc.txt within double quotes. And the new file is now present by the new name. It is very difficult to remember all the names. Every time I make some modification, a new file will be generated. So I will rename it by the old name, so that I will remember my old name. So I am saying rename xyz.txt abc.txt. So xyz.txt will be renamed to abc.txt. And the header file for remove and rename is stdio.h. So if you run this program, at the end, you will get a file abc.txt in which all the occurrences of small am will be replaced by capital Am. Now the next is a program to delete from a text file. Suppose I want to do some deletions from a text file. These are the three basic operations: addition, modification and deletion. So next is the program to delete. Now to delete, again I am using the same logic. I am creating two files here. One file in the input mode from which I am reading. This is the text file from which I am reading. I will create one more file on which I will write all the words except the word which I want to delete. And then I will again use remove and rename, and I will make the required changes. So again, let us see here. I will include all the required files, and then I am creating an object of ifstream class and associating it with abc.txt. This is the file from where we have to read. Then I am creating a blank file for writing into it. So as I want to write, I will create an object of offstream class, and suppose I am giving the name to this file as xyz.txt. So this file will exist by this name. So I will read a character. I will read a word from a file because I have to delete occurrence of small am. So while end of file is not reached, I will check whether the word which I have read is am or not. If it is not equal to 0, it means if it is not am, I will write it to offstream object of it. I will write it to xyz.txt. And I will write the space also, otherwise words will not be separated by space. It is very important. So I am reading all the words and I am checking if the word is am. I am not writing it to a new file. Otherwise, I am writing it to a new file. So you can see here, this is my text file which I have already created. So I will read first word I. So I will write it I. Now the next word is am, which I am supposed to delete. So if I have encountered this word am, I will not write to a file. You can see here, this is the output of the execution of this program. So am will not be written to a new file. Then I have read the word creating. The creating will be written, then a will be written, new will be written, text will be written, file will be written. Then the next line I will be written. Again when I encounter am will not be written to the text file. Then writing will be written and all the other alphabets will be written to a file. So this loop will continue till end of file is reached, and after that I will close both the files fin.close and account.close, and then again I will remove my original file because I have done modifications in it. It is of no use now. So I will remove this file and I will rename my new file and give it a name abc.txt. So my new file will exist by this name only, and when I will display it on a DOS shell, it will appear like this, from which all the occurrences of small am are deleted. So this is the program, and please remember to include string.h also for strcmp function. So this is how you can delete anything from a text file. So in this video, this is the end of this video, and if you like this video, kindly give thumbs up, and you can also subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.